As
Yeah,
you're planning out your turn, hold up a mana just in case, and I'll share my hand and my intention. We could talk about how not to lose this next turn.
it's all right. I'm going to lose. I'm gonna tap the amber and the confluence now. Lose a life,
You got it, brother.
and I'm going to cast an arcane signet.
Pass an arcane
That's
signet.
good.
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
is a beautiful arcane signet.
thank you. From there, I'm going to pass the turn,
You got it.
so I can crack bobble if needed.
Yep. And just I asked to talk to TTC first. Like we are still going to Rinse Rocks. I know Laureate forgot, but I just need to make this over communicate. There's no politic that basically can give us to crack that on his turn. So
Yeah.
let's just reiterate that nice and clear. With that being said,
There's tons that could be said when we have a known win condition coming up.
not on your turn though. There's no reason. No.
I have 7 cards in hand that I'm down to show the table.
Yeah,
That
if you show
my
your full
my my
grip.
win is non-deterministic until I have it. We have a
Oh, okay.
deterministic win on the table.
I decided to play a
Aw.
turn slower this game.
I'm drew my card for turn, and unfortunately, I think it is just the Pasios. Did not draw a land drop, so I'll pass turn.
Great. In my upkeep, this is my hand.
In your upkeep,
In my upkeep, this is my hand.
that doesn't change
you
the
can't
fact that
see.
you do, what does he gain from?
So if you crack the bauble, not only can I cast the wheel, but I can put down an amber and my rog, and then that way we have mana up, so I can bounce the shit. So we have Floodmaw, we have Snap, and that's about it, right?
So tap
I
the
need to
one ring and
bounce.
show off what you draw off that, respectfully. If you're gonna show off your
Sure,
hand, go ahead and tap the one ring and see what because if you draw no interaction, then we're just F6 here either way. It doesn't matter.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I will draw 4. There's 3. There's 4.
Oh, he does get the second turn now.
Is there any
brain
interaction
freeze.
there? Well, yeah, no, there's no second red source. No, there's no interaction there,
Yeah.
so it
Well,
doesn't
there's
matter.
defense
Like,
grid, that
yeah,
protects him.
there's nothing there.
There's nothing here.
So
Well, there's nothing here that you're not going to want me to take a Final Fortune turn because I have no choice but to push.
right,
Um,
100%. The only move you'd
yeah,
have
so
is
so you
would be a brain
we're just
freeze to hopefully mill him out, like or not mill him out, but mill a key combo piece.
that's true.
That's the only thing I'm seeing with this.
It's true.
Yeah, but in that process of cracking, in the process of attempting to crack the vexing bobble, we're still in the same position where what's stopping you from casting all your free stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then still holding up
Mhm.
the final fortune in addition to the brain freeze, which I don't think it's worth it. But that is our only out that I see on board. I would say
Mhm.
to Trevor, if it was this is not my place to assert my politic. I don't know what you have in your hand. I can't stop what Lotharios is doing. So
The only thing the bobble will do for me, if the wheel doesn't happen, is I don't have any way to stop it.
to stop
I
what?
kind of to stop Felothar from winning here.
Yeah. So then I would say if you enter if you decide to enter a political conversation, I say you just be cutthroat with basically say what cards he can and cannot cast. Because right now, actually, is that a second land drop? No, you don't even need to crack the bobble. He just holds up the
Freeze, right?
just holds up the brain freeze. But I guess there's a universe where he could storm off to mill more, but
Well, you could still technically do the wheel now.
no, the
Because at
wheel
this
really
point,
doesn't. The wheel is more of a gamble. I can hear that, but I feel like so. This is my thought process.
Okay.
Why I'm not a huge fan of the wheel. It's too much of a gamble just to let him fully just develop all that mana. Like I'm more worried about him willing and getting action that he just wins at that point because that's what Rockside can do. I don't know if it's worth it, but I don't
this
know.
deck,
You said
the
what?
only thing I
I've
got going for me is this deck is a quarter of its interaction. but the
Yeah.
interaction's not here right now.
Here is my interjection as the Felothar player that is threatening a win on board. I only have 2 cards in hand. How much do you guys think that is actually interacting to protect myself from you guys just interacting with my board on my turn?
So
Do you think I
I'm
have the cards in hand to be able to protect my win?
But the thing is that we need to have interaction to stop you. That's the point we're trying to make.
So until I'm told, yes, I cracked the bauble, I have interaction to stop it, I don't see any reason to crack the bauble yet.
Yeah, the only thing I'm seeing here is that
we have a storm count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 18. And I don't know what his hope piles are, but if I go in this line here, Rog, Amber, Chrome, I'll even get rid of the Flood Collar. I'd rather have an upkeep than try to go for a win here, and that way I have a blue up. Mantle, Rite of Flame, I go get a Badlands, and then I could use these 2 sources here to Brain Freeze, target the Protean Hulk player, and we go from there.
can
The
I
other line I could do is not all this developing of mana because that's super scary, despite the fact that this guy will win. None of us get an up tap and keep up tap.
Can I-
So I could simply, quite simply do this. You guys get to get rid of rock size mana, because somehow this is scarier than the win on board. And
We
I
didn't
will
say that.
wheel. I will wheel like this, and then we see, right?
I think
But
that
now we're hoping
yeah.
that I get exactly Force of Will with a blue card.
Right. So I hear that. So what a politic phrase that I would just throw to Trevor is I think what Bissy said, the first one is the best option for the table, because I think our biggest out right now, because TTC can't stop Felothar, you can't stop Felothar, and Bissy's best move is to brain freeze him out. What I would say in this situation is, hey, I'll crack Bobble, but I want you to promise to not use the Valley Flood Caller or or Final Fortune this turn, and I want you to tap out all the mana because you have no other reason to hold up any of your mana and don't cast it. We'll tell him exactly what to do this turn, because setting up Bissy for an instant speed Final Fortune after that, or being even to still be able to cast the will, because I don't think we should gas up Felothar's hand. I don't think that's a good move. I think specifically saying to him, hey, I want you to do X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3. Then I can agree to crack this. Unless it's done exactly like this, then at this point we're setting ourselves up for the potential win from Bissy, because Roxy is built to be able to storm off with nothing. You know what I'm saying? And also direct him and say, I want all storm triggers to go to Felothar, none to touch you, not for no long. Just, I would say that's what I would do for a political move here, because we are talking about Roxy. I understand it's a guaranteed win on the turn, but this is also not a guaranteed way to stop him, especially if we also leave him up to the chance to still cast that known Final Fortune and or Valley Flood Caller from hand. I think letting him just fully say, like, no, this is exactly what you cast, this is how you cast it, then I'm willing to make a deal. But that's what I would do in your situation, Trev.
Yeah, no, that is actually way better than any way I would normally politics, because normally I'm not holding up the table like this with a bobble,
Right.
knowing that there's wins ready.
Right.
I do have
yeah.
mana to do both of these things. I can brain freeze and I can wheel.
I don't want to give the white deck this possibility of science. I would love a wheel for more stuff, but I know I don't have a lot of counter magic in my hand. I understand Vorarch thing, but I don't want to give him the chance to draw a Grand Abolish or any other type of effect. That's the only thing I'm really concerned about from Felothar. Right. That's my only thing, because he has 2 cards. Like, what's the likelihood he has a Silence or Grand Abolish? He may have it.
Let's get a
that is the point I made. Is I do only have 2 cards in hand. Sorry,
I don't think we should
wheel.
gas him up with the will anymore. So I'll let Trev decide how he wants to do the spells, and I also think you should request him to tap his mana out so he can't do Final Fortune.
His commander specifically, right? So he doesn't have to actually technically cast anything from his hand.
No, yeah, he just needs to cast his commander.
Yeah. So at this rate, a wheel would be terrible because that's giving him protection.
That's what I think in my head personally. That's just my opinion.
No one has Force of Will, right? So, and we all run it. That's the only reason why I advocate for wheel.
I don't think we should.
But I also,
yeah,
at this point, I don't care how it goes. I'm going to try to get to an upkeep because we're all dead.
100%.
Right. So whatever you tell me to do, I'm going to do it that way. Period.
Yeah.
So,
I hear
again,
the
this
21
is my
cards thing,
hand.
but then I just respect Roxanne. That's just my opinion. Vote Trev. That's just I'm always gonna stand on 10 toes on that.
Yeah, if you don't cast that Final Fortune and the caller, I think I'll crack the bobble.
Can you throw this out there? I'm sorry. I think you should direct.
Also, Brain Freeze should be definitely targeted that way. I will say targeting me with Brain Freeze actually helps me a lot, but I don't need the targets right now.
Yeah. Could you give him exact directions? Because what you said is what he can't do. Like, I don't like. Can I poke like intriguing to a phrase? Okay. Hey, Bissy, can you put your Wheel of Fortune to the left, the Valley Flood Caller, and the Final Fortune, and the Beseech, and the Defense Grid to the left, please? And what does that leave you left available to you? That leaves you with a Chrome Mox, a Mantle, a Mox Amber, a Rite of Flame, and all that. Could you please, in like, this is how I would suggest Trev says it. Since he already has one, can you just fetch for the Badlands, go ahead and cast the Rite of Flame to have the 2 red mana, cast the Mox Amber, the Chrome Mox, pitching the Valley Flood
Color for the blue source.
For the blue. Yeah. Though the Tundra taps for blue, right? What's that other land, though?
It's an Underground Sea and an Arid Mesa.
It's an Underground Sea, either or. I think the Beseech, I would actually say, like, recommend it, because the Beseech is the tutor that makes the hand work. Other than that, it's just a wheel, and then that gets you. We can actually talk about that, but I mean, yeah, I would get rid of the gas in the hand, which is the Beseech, because he already has the blue source. He just gets to go get a bad land. So go get a Rite of Flame, task the bad land with the Rite of Flame, go Amber, Chrome Mox pitching the Beseech, also the Mantle, cast your rocks, tap all your mana, casting the Brain Feeds, and don't cast any more spells. That's what I would say. That exact line.
And Rog.
Including Rog. Including the Storm Cat, casting Rog as well, increasing all that, float all your mana, and then that's it. And that don't cast any more spells, don't take any other game actions. That's it. That's what I would say. And to make sure to give yourself the highest chance to not lose on Bissy's next turn. He'll still have the wheel, but the Beseech gives him a guaranteed like action to take next turn to tutor.
Yeah, true. So yeah, if you're willing to use the Rite of Flame this turn with the Rog and pitch the Valley Flood Caller to the Chrome Mox.
Pitch the Beseech.
Beseech to the Chrome Mox. Okay.
Again, the free Emrakul here is to not die, right?
Right. Yeah. So
we don't want to die in your next turn, 13 though.
13 mana of value that we're getting.
Yeah, but there's no reason. Like you're getting a benefit from this not dying either. You want to do this just as much as we're offering it.
Oh yeah.
Now next turn you can go Final Fortune Wheel next turn. You still have it out. You just won't have a tutor. That's all.
Yeah.
Yep.
And floating all his mana, don't hold any, and make sure you also communicate. Don't cast any of the those 4 spells out, as well as floating all the mana. He has no other interaction to add to the table.
Yeah. All right.
This is all fine and dandy. I do want to mention this is a very big gamble that you guys are taking to take 18 cards out of my deck that I potentially may or may not be able to reanimate.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So if you're willing to take that gamble. If you're willing to take that gamble and prevent me from winning by hoping I mill the right 18 cards, we can do that.
I think that's the best option. We could, like, I can hear about the will. I'm only to reveal this. This is part of the reason why I don't want to reveal. Well, I don't want to reveal this because I have I have a mental misstep in hand. I have a mental misstep in hand, and my thing is if he has a silence or if he has something that's problematic, I have a mental misstep. But that's not going to help against Felothar. That's why I wasn't revealing it. It doesn't stop Bissy. It doesn't stop Felothar. I didn't want to reveal it to the table. I have a mental misstep.
Yeah.
But it doesn't add to this equation here.
The most likely pile is Samwise and Cat. That just makes the most sense.
Yeah.
It's the cleanest pile that we have nowadays.
All right.
That's pretty cool.
So,
all right.
Before the spells go in the stack one more time, asking the Bissy.
I'm still in my upkeep.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Question to Bissy.
Yeah.
Don't pull my chain here, bro. You come on.
Yo.
is there a universe like with us knowing that Felothar, and I cannot wait to cut all of this out of the fucking final video. But is there a universe where this wheel actually just got like, I don't mind losing my hand. I just really foresee us like whiffing and then just giving him more. But I can see a brain freeze plus a wheel that going from 18 to 25 cards. But I wanted to bring that to the table once we got past the fact that we want to lock everybody else out. But I do see the wheel possible. Like we all just got done saying we all 3 turbo decks. We're past the turbo game, but I want to hear your opinion on adding a wheel to making that 25 cards. But the thing is though, that does possibly give him protection for his win as well. But it also can fuck him because he only has 2 cards to discard.
He's fighting 3 blue decks. We're all greedy. I mean, my Bohar is greedy.
Like,
Your
I
teammate's greedy. I'm
purposely
greedy.
did not punch for a win on my turn, just to hold up mana for the bobble.
Right.
Sure.
So
basically.
So how the wheel would work is we definitely want.
So it'd be Rite of Flame. It'd be 2 red mana plus a blue. So it'd be 1 red mana remaining. You have a Mox Amber and a Mantle. Because is the Mantle worry about summoning sickness or does it not? Oh, yeah, you have enough.
It does.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Worry about summoning sickness,
but it doesn't matter.
So...
You'll have exactly 5 mana minus the Mantle if you don't include the Mantle. There'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5.
You have exactly enough to do brain freeze and will. I wanted to ask the table, is that something that we had like a last thing, or I think it may be worth it. I'm not against it. I'm just asking at this point.
Yeah, we'll try it.
Can you guys still see me? My
we can still see you, brother.
Out.
Thank you, audience, for being so patient as we figure out this fucking.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah. What do y'all want
to do? What do y'all in the world? I'm the reason this conversation's starting.
No, yeah. So what do y'all want to do before Bissy goes to his main phase and starts drawing?
It's on Vexing Bubble.
We'll crack on Vexing. We'll crack Vexing on what's it called?
Yeah, I can crack it right on your
on the main phase.
Draw phase, yeah.
Okay, I'll draw a card.
All right.
Yeah.
So before we crack, we do agree to do the deal, Bissy. Storm out. Do not cast those 4 spells. Pitch the brain freeze and pitch the beseech and as well. Only cast the brain freeze with the storm and also the wheel.
Okay.
Is that the deal you're agreeing to?
I agree to that deal.
All right.
I'm gonna clean up the board.
And you will not cast any of those 4 spells this turn at the bottom.
These 4 spells do nothing this turn. They stay.
They'll get willed,
in my
but
hand.
Like, what do you?
In fact, for your audience here, I'll leave them on the board. I'm gonna clean up my board.
All right.
And the sequencing will go Crack Fetch for Badlands, Rite of Flame holding 2 red mana, Mox Amber, Chrome Mox pitching Beseech, Rograk. And then I will Brain Freeze all targets pointing to the Hulk player. I'll follow that up, tapping down my mana by casting a Wheel of Fortune. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
That should be exactly 5 mana plus the Mantle is cast with a storm. That should be exactly 5.
2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I'm counting.
All right. Go ahead, brother.
So I'm going to go to my main phase 1.
And on the change of phases, right?
Yep, on the change, go ahead and crack it.
I could have done at the end of Upkeeper.
Yeah, anytime, yeah.
So I'm gonna I'll tap the Arcane Signet to crack the Vexing Bauble.
Yeah.
To draw a card.
You got it, brother.
Oh, excuse me. I just picked up my Underground Sea.
You good.
You
good, bro.
Yeah, I'd say there. All right.
Okay.
You got it.
Yep.
Third Mesa, back fetch, lose a life.
Mm-hmm.
Going to go get a Badlands.
That was a very good politic conversation, guys.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of politic conversations, I heard someone has a podcast coming out talking about politics.
Yeah. It may or may not be featuring a very special guest.
Oh, thanks, bro. Thanks for the flowers to me, but this is about you, bro. This is about you, bro. Yeah.
Well, this is one I'm gonna have to sit in on because obviously I'm not the politicker here. I'm so used to being turbo, so I don't have to do the politics in the mid range.
What you all have done is you've unlocked mid range Amani in the turbo deck.